What if I told you that the simple act of putting one foot in front of the other could completely transform your life? Not tomorrow, not next year, but starting right now. Imagine walking away from disease, walking toward a sharper mind, and literally stepping into the healthiest version of yourself. This isn't some expensive gym membership or complicated diet plan. This is something you already know how to do, something you've been doing since you were a toddler. Yet most of us have completely forgotten just how powerful walking can be. The ancient Greek physician Hippocrates wasn't joking around when he declared that walking is a man's best medicine. He understood something that modern science is only now confirming with hard data and undeniable research. Your body was designed to walk, and when you stop walking regularly, you're essentially telling your body to slowly shut down systems that were meant to keep you healthy, vibrant, and alive. Let's get real for a moment. You're probably sitting down right now, aren't you? Maybe you've been sitting for hours, scrolling through content, working at a desk, or just relaxing after a long day. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that, but here's what's happening inside your body while you're stationary. Your metabolism is slowing down, your joints are stiffening up, your blood isn't circulating the way it should, and your brain is getting less oxygen than it needs to function at its peak. Now picture this instead: you stand up, you step outside, and you start walking. Within just 5 minutes, your heart rate increases, pumping oxygen-rich blood to every corner of your body. Your muscles wake up and start burning calories. Your joints begin to lubricate themselves naturally. Your lungs expand and contract more deeply, bringing in fresh air and expelling toxins. And your brain? It lights up like a Christmas tree, releasing chemicals that make you feel happier, calmer, and more focused. All of this happens in just 5 minutes of walking. Imagine what 30 minutes could do. The truth is, we live in a world that has engineered movement right out of our daily lives. We drive to work, we sit at desks, we take elevators instead of stairs, and we order everything to be delivered to our doorsteps. We've become so comfortable that we've forgotten what our bodies are capable of when we actually use them. But here's the beautiful part: you don't need to become a marathon runner or a fitness fanatic to reclaim your health. You just need to walk. Walking is free, it's accessible to almost everyone, and it requires no special equipment beyond a decent pair of shoes. You don't need a gym membership, you don't need to learn complicated exercises, and you don't need to clear your entire schedule. You just need to commit to moving your body, one step at a time, every single day. And if you stick with me through this entire guide, I'm going to show you exactly what happens to your body when you make walking a daily habit, plus I'll share the fit formula that will help you maximize your results without burning yourself out. Before we dive deep into the incredible transformations that walking creates inside your body, I want you to do me a favor. Subscribe to this channel and turn on those notifications, because we're constantly sharing life-changing health information that could literally add years to your life. Don't just be a passive observer of your own health. Take action, stay informed, and become the kind of person who chooses vitality over convenience. Alright, let's get into the science and the real-world benefits that will blow your mind. Your brain is the most complex organ in your entire body, and it's also one of the most vulnerable to the effects of aging. Right now, as you're reading this, over 35 million people around the world are suffering from Alzheimer's disease, and that number isn't getting any better. In fact, scientists predict that within the next 2 decades, that number is going to double. That's terrifying when you think about it. Imagine losing your memories, forgetting the faces of people you love, and gradually losing your ability to think clearly and make decisions. But here's where walking enters the picture as your brain's secret weapon. Researchers at the University of Kansas conducted groundbreaking studies that revealed something extraordinary. Low-impact aerobic exercises like walking can actually prevent the early onset of dementia and significantly reduce the risk of developing Alzheimer's disease. This isn't just speculation or wishful thinking. This is hard science backed by brain scans and longitudinal studies that tracked thousands of people over many years. What these researchers discovered is that people who stay physically active throughout their lives maintain more volume in a part of the brain called the hippocampus. Now, you might be thinking, what in the world is a hippocampus and why should I care about it? Well, your hippocampus is basically mission control for your memory and learning. It's the part of your brain that helps you remember where you parked your car, what you ate for breakfast, and that important meeting you have next Tuesday. As we age, the hippocampus naturally shrinks, which is why older people often experience memory problems. But here's the incredible part. Walking actually keeps your hippocampus from shrinking as quickly. In some cases, it can even help it grow. Think about that for a second. You can literally grow parts of your brain just by walking regularly. That's not science fiction, that's science fact. But the benefits don't stop at memory and learning. Walking also improves your overall mental well-being by reducing stress levels and triggering the release of endorphins, those feel-good chemicals that give you a natural high. When you walk, especially outdoors in nature, your body starts producing chemicals that are essential for brain health. We're talking about brain-derived neurotrophic factor, which sounds complicated but basically acts like fertilizer for your brain cells. It helps existing neurons stay healthy and encourages the growth of new neural connections. Your brain also develops more blood vessels when you walk regularly, which means better circulation and more oxygen reaching those precious brain cells. This is why people who walk regularly report feeling sharper, more focused, and mentally clearer than when they were sedentary. Your brain literally works better when you walk, and that effect compounds over time. The more you walk, the better your brain functions, and the better protected you are against cognitive decline as you age. Now let's talk about something that might surprise you, your eyes. You're probably wondering what walking could possibly have to do with your vision. After all, you walk with your legs, not your eyeballs, right? Well, your body is an interconnected system, and what helps one part often helps another in ways you'd never expect. Walking can actually help fight a condition called glaucoma, which is one of the leading causes of blindness in older adults. Glaucoma develops when too much fluid builds up inside your eye, creating pressure that damages the optic nerve. Over time, this pressure can destroy your vision permanently. But here's the good news. The Glaucoma Research Foundation recommends walking as one of the most effective ways to reduce eye pressure and lower your risk of developing this sight-stealing disease. When you walk, your cardiovascular system kicks into gear, improving circulation throughout your entire body, including the tiny blood vessels in your eyes. This improved blood flow helps drain excess fluid from your eyes, reducing that dangerous pressure buildup. But even if you're young and glaucoma seems like something you don't need to worry about for decades, walking still benefits your vision in other important ways. Both low and high-intensity exercise strengthen something called the visual cortex, which is the part of your brain that processes all the visual information your eyes send to it. Think of your eyes as cameras and your visual cortex as the computer that processes all those images. When you walk regularly, you're essentially upgrading that computer, making it faster and more efficient at processing visual information. This means sharper vision, better depth perception, and improved ability to track moving objects. So if you want to protect your eyesight now and in the future, walking is one of the smartest investments you can make. Your heart is working right now, beating steadily, pumping blood through thousands of miles of blood vessels to keep you alive. It's been beating since before you were born, and it will hopefully keep beating for many decades to come. But here's the thing. Your heart is a muscle, and like any muscle, it needs exercise to stay strong. Most people know that running is great for your heart, but what if I told you that walking is just as effective? According to the American Heart Association, walking is no less beneficial than running when it comes to preventing heart disease and stroke. That's a game changer for people who can't run due to joint problems, injuries, or simply because they find running miserable and unsustainable. A daily 30-minute walk does something remarkable for your cardiovascular system. It helps lower high blood pressure, which is often called the silent killer because it damages your arteries and heart without causing obvious symptoms until it's too late. Walking also reduces bad cholesterol levels while increasing good cholesterol, creating a healthier balance in your bloodstream. At the same time, it improves blood circulation, ensuring that oxygen and nutrients reach every cell in your body efficiently. All of these benefits work together to dramatically reduce your risk of developing coronary heart disease, one of the leading causes of death worldwide. Think about it this way: every step you take is like a deposit into your heart health savings account. The more you walk, the more you're investing in a longer, healthier life with a heart that stays strong and resilient even as the years go by. Let's move on to your lungs, those incredible organs that keep you breathing every second of every day without you even thinking about it. Walking is classified as an aerobic exercise, which means it requires oxygen and makes your heart and lungs work harder than they do when you're sitting still. When you walk, you breathe more deeply and more frequently, which increases oxygen flow into your bloodstream. This oxygen is then carried to every cell in your body, fueling all the chemical reactions that keep you alive and energized. At the same time, walking helps your body eliminate toxins and waste products more efficiently through improved respiration and circulation. For people who suffer from lung diseases like chronic obstructive pulmonary disease or asthma, walking can actually help improve some of their symptoms. Now, I'm not saying that walking is a cure for lung disease, but research has shown that regular moderate exercise like walking can lead to better breathing quality and increased lung capacity over time. Here's something else that's really important. Lung disease often comes with a lot of stress and requires various medications, and all of this can weaken your immune system. Walking outdoors, especially in natural settings with fresh air and sunlight, is one of the best immunity boosters available. Fresh air, vitamin D from sunlight, and the gentle stress relief that comes from moving your body all work together to strengthen your immune defenses. So if you want healthier lungs and a stronger immune system, walking every day is one of the simplest and most effective strategies you can adopt. Here's something that might shock you: walking is actually better for preventing diabetes than running is. Yes, you read that correctly. A study conducted at Duke University followed two groups of people over a 6-month period. One group consisted of regular walkers, while the other group consisted of runners. At the end of the study, the walkers showed 6 times greater improvement in glucose tolerance compared to the runners. Glucose tolerance is basically your body's ability to absorb and process blood sugar efficiently. When your glucose tolerance improves, your pancreas doesn't have to work as hard to produce insulin, the hormone that regulates blood sugar levels. Type 2 diabetes has become an epidemic in modern society, affecting hundreds of millions of people worldwide and contributing to heart disease, kidney failure, blindness, and amputations. But the beautiful thing is that this disease is largely preventable through lifestyle choices, and walking is one of the most powerful preventive measures you can take. When you walk regularly, your muscles become more efficient at using glucose for energy, which means less sugar floating around in your bloodstream causing damage. Your pancreas gets a break from having to pump out massive amounts of insulin, which helps it maintain its function over the long term. And even if you've already been diagnosed with prediabetes or diabetes, walking can help you manage your blood sugar levels more effectively and potentially reduce your need for medication. That's real power, and it all comes from something as simple as putting one foot in front of the other. Let's talk about your digestive system, because this is where walking delivers some benefits that you might not expect. Your digestive tract is basically a long tube that starts at your mouth and ends at, well, you know where. Food travels through this tube, getting broken down and absorbed along the way, and the waste products eventually get eliminated. But sometimes things don't move along as smoothly as they should. Constipation, bloating, and irregular bowel movements are incredibly common problems that affect millions of people and can seriously impact your quality of life. Here's where walking comes to the rescue. Just 30 minutes of walking every day can significantly improve your digestion and regulate your bowel movements. When you walk, you're essentially massaging your internal organs, helping food move through your digestive system more efficiently. But walking does something even more impressive for your digestive health. It actually lowers your risk of developing colon cancer, which is one of the most common and deadly forms of cancer. Multiple studies have shown that physically active people have significantly lower rates of colon cancer compared to sedentary people. And here's the really amazing part. Walking can even improve survival rates for people who have already been diagnosed with colon cancer. A massive study involving over 150,000 men and women found a clear connection between physical activity levels and colon cancer outcomes. The people who walked regularly had better survival rates than those who remained sedentary even after diagnosis. This tells us that walking doesn't just prevent disease, it can actually help your body fight disease more effectively. Your digestive system is incredibly important for your overall health, and walking is one of the best things you can do to keep it functioning optimally. Now let's get into something that a lot of people care about: muscle tone and weight loss. You might think you need to hit the gym and lift heavy weights to build muscle tone, but walking can actually help you achieve a lean, toned physique without all the complicated equipment and expensive memberships. The magic number that fitness experts often recommend is 10,000 steps per day. That might sound like a lot, but it's actually very achievable when you break it down throughout your day. 10,000 steps is roughly equivalent to walking about 5 miles, and it can burn anywhere from 300 to 500 calories depending on your weight and walking speed. Here's what makes walking so effective for muscle toning. When you walk with proper form, you're engaging muscles throughout your entire body. Your legs are obviously doing most of the work, but your core muscles are constantly stabilizing your torso, your arms are swinging and contributing to your momentum, and even your back and shoulder muscles are involved in maintaining good posture. If you add some hills or intervals where you speed up and slow down, you're basically giving yourself a full-body workout that's just as effective as many gym routines. The best part is that walking is low impact, which means it doesn't beat up your joints or leave you so sore that you can't walk the next day. This sustainability factor is huge because it means you can walk every single day without needing rest days, and consistency is what really delivers results over time. Let me share some tips for maximizing the muscle toning benefits of walking. First, focus on your form. Keep your spine straight and tall, like there's a string pulling you up from the top of your head. Bend your elbows at about 90 degrees and swing your arms naturally as you walk. This arm movement not only helps with balance but also engages your upper body muscles. Stabilize your pelvis by engaging your core muscles, almost like you're gently pulling your belly button toward your spine. Find a pace that feels challenging but sustainable, where you're breathing harder than normal but can still hold a conversation. Don't break into a jog, because once you start running, you're putting more stress on your joints and increasing your need for recovery time. Speed walking maintains all the benefits while keeping the impact low and the sustainability high. Your bones and joints are literally the framework that holds your body together and allows you to move through the world. As we age, our bones naturally lose density, becoming more fragile and prone to fractures. Our joints can become stiff and painful, limiting our mobility and independence. But walking provides powerful protection against both of these age-related problems. When you walk, you're putting gentle stress on your bones, and this stress actually signals your body to maintain and even build bone density. It's like your bones are saying, "Oh, we're being used, we need to stay strong." This is especially important for preventing osteoporosis, a condition where bones become so weak and brittle that even a minor fall can result in serious fractures. Walking also provides tremendous benefits for your joints. The Arthritis Foundation specifically recommends at least 30 minutes of moderate walking per day to reduce pain, stiffness, and inflammation in the joints. You might think that moving would make joint pain worse, but the opposite is actually true. When you walk, you're lubricating your joints naturally with synovial fluid, which acts like oil in a machine, keeping everything moving smoothly. You're also strengthening the muscles around your joints, which provides better support and stability. People with arthritis who walk regularly often report significant reductions in pain and improvements in their ability to perform daily activities. The key is to start gently and gradually increase your walking time and intensity as your body adapts. Back pain is one of the most common health complaints in the modern world, affecting millions of people and often resulting from too much sitting and not enough movement. Here's where walking becomes a real lifesaver. Unlike high-impact exercises that can actually aggravate back pain, walking is gentle enough that most people can do it even when their back is bothering them. Walking improves blood circulation within the spinal structures, delivering oxygen and nutrients to the muscles, ligaments, and discs that support your spine. This increased blood flow promotes healing and reduces inflammation. Walking also strengthens the muscles that keep your body upright, particularly your core muscles and the muscles that run along your spine. When these muscles are strong, they take pressure off your spine and help maintain proper alignment. Many people who suffer from chronic back pain find that regular walking reduces their pain levels significantly and helps them reduce or eliminate their dependence on pain medications. Plus, walking improves your posture, which is crucial for long-term spinal health. When you walk with good posture, you're training your body to maintain that alignment even when you're sitting or standing still. And here's a fun bonus. Better posture can actually make you appear taller, adding an inch or two to your height just by standing up straight and walking with confidence. Now let's talk about something that affects almost everyone at some point: mental health. We often think of exercise as something we do for our physical body, but the mental health benefits of walking are just as powerful and sometimes even more life-changing. Your mind and body are not separate entities. They're deeply connected, constantly influencing each other in ways we're only beginning to understand. The Journal of Psychiatric Research published a fascinating study involving 50 individuals who were suffering from major depression. These weren't people who were just feeling a bit down. These were people diagnosed with clinical depression, a serious mental health condition that can be completely debilitating. The study found that walking for 30 to 45 minutes per day, 5 days per week, led to significant improvements in their depression symptoms. Think about what that means. These people were able to experience real relief from depression, one of the most difficult mental health conditions to treat, just by walking regularly. Now imagine what walking could do for someone who's dealing with everyday stress, anxiety, or just feeling overwhelmed by life's challenges. Another group of researchers at Iowa State University worked with hundreds of college students, who we all know are dealing with massive amounts of stress from academic pressure, social challenges, and uncertainty about the future. They found that walking improved the students' mood significantly, even though the students weren't told ahead of time that the walking might make them feel better. This is crucial because it means the benefits weren't just from placebo effect or positive expectations. Walking genuinely changes your brain chemistry in ways that improve your emotional state. When you walk, your brain releases endorphins, which are natural mood-elevating chemicals that create feelings of happiness and well-being. You also get reductions in cortisol, the stress hormone that makes you feel anxious and overwhelmed. Your brain produces more serotonin and dopamine, neurotransmitters that regulate mood, motivation, and feelings of pleasure. All of these chemical changes combine to create a natural antidepressant and anti-anxiety effect that you can access any time just by going for a walk. And if you walk with a friend or loved one, you get the added benefit of social connection, which is one of the most powerful mood boosters known to science. Having a conversation while walking, sharing experiences, and enjoying each other's company amplifies all the positive effects and makes the whole experience more enjoyable and sustainable. Mental clarity is another huge benefit that walkers report experiencing. When you're stuck on a problem or feeling mentally foggy, going for a walk can help clear your mind and improve your ability to think creatively. There's something about the rhythmic movement, the fresh air, and the change of scenery that helps your brain process information more effectively. Many famous thinkers, writers, and inventors throughout history were known for their walking habits. They understood instinctively what science is now confirming: walking helps your brain work better. If you're feeling overwhelmed, stuck on a difficult problem, or just mentally exhausted, try going for a walk instead of reaching for another cup of coffee or scrolling through your phone. You might be amazed at how much clearer your thinking becomes. Alright, if you're feeling excited and ready to start walking right now, that's fantastic. But before you rush out the door and try to walk 10 miles on your first day, I need to share something incredibly important with you: the FIT formula. This simple framework will help you build a sustainable walking practice that gets results without burning you out or injuring yourself. FIT stands for frequency, intensity, and time. These are the 3 variables you can adjust to customize your walking practice to your current fitness level and gradually increase the challenge as you get stronger. Let's start with frequency, which answers the question, how often should you walk? Ideally, you want to walk every single day, making it as automatic as brushing your teeth. But if daily walking seems impossible due to your schedule, commitments, or physical limitations, then aim for 3 to 5 times per week to start. The key is consistency. It's better to walk for 15 minutes 3 times per week and actually stick to it than to plan on walking for an hour every day and give up after a week because it's too overwhelming. Start where you are, not where you think you should be. If you can only manage 5 minutes of walking right now, then 5 minutes is your starting point. There's absolutely no shame in that. What matters is that you do it regularly and gradually build up from there. Intensity refers to how fast you walk. A good average pace for most people is 2 to 3 miles per hour, which is a comfortable walking speed where you can still carry on a conversation but you're definitely working harder than if you were just strolling leisurely. Here's a useful rule of thumb: you should be able to talk while you're walking, but you should be breathing harder than normal. If you're completely out of breath and can't string a sentence together, you're going too fast and you need to slow down. On the other hand, if you feel like you could walk and talk all day without any increase in breathing or heart rate, you might want to pick up the pace a little bit. Everyone's optimal intensity is different based on their current fitness level, age, and health conditions. Don't compare yourself to others. Find the pace that challenges you appropriately while still being sustainable. Time refers to how long you walk during each session. The goal that most health organizations recommend is 30 minutes per day. This duration has been shown in numerous studies to provide significant health benefits across virtually every system in your body. But again, if 30 minutes seems impossible right now, start smaller. Maybe you do 3 10-minute walks throughout the day instead of 1 30-minute walk. Maybe you start with just 15 minutes and gradually add a minute or 2 each week. Some people like to count steps instead of minutes, and that's perfectly fine. A good target is 6,000 to 10,000 steps per day, but remember that any steps are better than no steps. If you're currently averaging 2,000 steps per day, then 3,000 steps is progress worth celebrating. Here's the crucial part about the FIT formula: when you want to increase the challenge and continue progressing, only change one variable at a time. If you suddenly try to walk more often, faster, and longer all at once, you're setting yourself up for burnout or injury. Instead, pick one element to adjust. Maybe you add an extra day per week to your walking schedule. Once that feels comfortable and sustainable, then maybe you increase your walking speed slightly. After you've adapted to that, perhaps you add 5 minutes to each walking session. This gradual, systematic approach ensures that you're always challenging yourself just enough to make progress, but not so much that you feel overwhelmed or hurt yourself. If you're still feeling unsure about whether you can stick to a walking routine, let me share some strategies that help people stay motivated. First, consider joining a walking group or class in your community. There's something powerful about having other people who are on the same journey, supporting each other and holding each other accountable. Plus, it's a great way to make new friends and turn exercise into a social activity rather than a solo chore. If you prefer more individualized attention, you might consider hiring a personal trainer who can create a customized walking program for you and check in regularly on your progress. For some people, the fact that they're paying for this service provides powerful motivation to actually show up and do the work. Another strategy is to find a walking buddy, someone who shares your goals and will commit to walking with you on a regular schedule. When you know someone is counting on you to show up, you're much less likely to skip your walk even when you don't feel like it. You can also use technology to help keep you motivated. There are countless apps and fitness trackers that count your steps, track your routes, and show you your progress over time. Some people find that seeing their statistics and watching their numbers improve week after week provides powerful motivation to keep going. You can also set specific goals for yourself, like walking a certain number of miles in a month or completing a charity walk event. Having a concrete target to work toward can make your daily walks feel more purposeful. Remember to make your walks as enjoyable as possible. If you love music, create a playlist of your favorite upbeat songs that make you want to move. If you prefer learning, listen to podcasts or audiobooks while you walk. If you find peace in nature, seek out parks, trails, or green spaces where you can walk surrounded by trees and fresh air instead of just walking on sidewalks next to traffic. Some people prefer walking in the morning because it energizes them for the day ahead. Others find that an evening walk helps them decompress from work stress and sleep better at night. Experiment with different times and environments until you find what works best for you. One thing that holds many people back from starting a walking routine is the belief that they need special equipment or clothing. The truth is, you really don't need much. A good pair of walking shoes is important because they provide proper support and cushioning to protect your feet and joints. But beyond that, you can walk in whatever comfortable clothing you already own. You don't need expensive athletic gear or high-tech gadgets. You just need to be comfortable and safe. If you're walking in hot weather, wear light-colored, breathable clothing and bring water with you. If you're walking in cold weather, dress in layers that you can remove as you warm up. If you're walking early in the morning or after dark, wear reflective clothing or carry a light so that drivers can see you. Weather is another common excuse people use for not walking. It's too hot, too cold, too rainy, too windy. But here's the thing, if you wait for perfect weather, you'll never walk consistently. Sometimes you need to embrace the elements and walk anyway, as long as it's safe to do so. Walking in light rain can actually be quite refreshing and peaceful. Walking in cold weather can be invigorating and help you build mental toughness. Obviously, you shouldn't walk in dangerous conditions like thunderstorms, extreme heat that could cause heat stroke, or icy conditions where you could slip and fall. But normal weather variations shouldn't stop you. If outdoor walking truly isn't possible on a given day, you can walk indoors at a mall, a gym, or even just around your house or apartment. As you develop your walking practice, pay attention to how your body responds. You might notice changes relatively quickly. Within a few weeks, you'll probably feel like you have more energy throughout the day. Your sleep might improve. You might notice your clothes fitting a bit differently as you lose fat and tone muscles. Your mood and stress levels might improve noticeably. These early wins are important to recognize and celebrate because they'll motivate you to keep going. Over the long term, you're investing in benefits that might not be as immediately visible but are even more valuable. Stronger bones, healthier heart, better brain function, lower disease risk, and a higher quality of life as you age. The beautiful thing about walking is that it's truly accessible to almost everyone regardless of age, fitness level, or financial resources. You don't need to be young or already fit to start walking. You don't need money for gym memberships or equipment. You don't need to carve huge blocks of time out of your busy schedule. You just need to make the decision to start, to take that first step, and then to keep taking steps every single day. The cumulative effect of all those steps, all those walks, all those choices to move your body instead of staying sedentary, will transform your health in ways you probably can't even imagine right now. Think about where you want to be a year from now. Do you want to feel the same way you feel today, or do you want to feel stronger, healthier, happier, and more energetic? The choice is entirely yours, and it starts with something as simple as walking. Every single day, you're either building your health or letting it decline. Every choice you make either moves you closer to vitality or closer to disease and decline. Walking is one of the most powerful health-building choices you can make, and it's available to you right now, today, this very moment. So what are you waiting for? Your body is designed to move. Your health is too important to neglect. Your future self will thank you for every step you take today. Stop making excuses about being too busy, too tired, or too out of shape. Start where you are, use what you have, do what you can. Take that first walk today, even if it's just around the block. Tomorrow, do it again. The day after that, do it again. Before you know it, walking will become a habit, a part of your daily routine that you look forward to and that makes you feel amazing. Your heart will be stronger, your brain will be sharper, your bones will be more resilient, and your mood will be brighter. All because you decided to walk. Don't let another day go by without taking action. Your health is your greatest wealth, and walking is one of the best investments you can make in it. Start today, be consistent, trust the process, and watch as your body and mind transform in ways you never thought possible. The power is in your hands, or rather, in your feet. One step at a time, one day at a time, you can walk your way to a healthier, happier, longer life.